is my privilege to have our guest speaker this evening. As a child, all of us dreamed of having a friend who was so big and tough that if we started a fight, they could finish it for him. Chad and I have that kind of relationship. Although I wish he'd quit starting fights because I'm tired of finishing them. I'm getting too old for that, Chad. This man has done everything that a boy would dream of doing in America. A three-time Super Bowl champion, and best known for his role with America's team, and for those of you from out of town, that's the Dallas Cowboys. Chad graduated from the United States Air Force Academy in 1988. He was a two-time academic All-American, winner of numerous football honors, including the 1987 Outland Trophy given to the country's outstanding lineman. He received Most Valuable Player honors as well, and was inducted into the GTE Academic All-American Hall of Fame in 2006. After graduation, he was drafted by the NFL, but deferred to play until serving his term in the United States Air Force, where he flew the A-10 Thunderbolt in support of Operation Provide Comfort in northern Iraq. Chad is now a radio personality, a businessman, a nationally known speaker and author. He is husband and proud father of two CDA students, Brenna and his son Chase, who is graduating with us tonight. He credits his success in life to putting his faith in God and his service to others first. Would you join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Mr. Chad Hennings? Chad?
Thank you very much. And to all the faculty, to the staff, to the students, to the coaches, representing all of us as parents of Corndale, we want to thank you for everything that you've done for our children, everything that they have learned, how to look at the world from a historical Christian worldview. But there are certain aspects that it's also had its challenges. I think some of you parents can relate to this. I can remember several years ago, Tammy and I were having a parental conversation with one of our children, and they will remain anonymous to protect them. But it was during the part of the discussion where I was trying to make my point as a parent. And my child said, "Dad, do you realize that there is a fallacy in your argument?" And I sat there and I'm thinking, now this is going to be interesting. Yeah, there's an illegitimate appeal to authority, which you're utilizing. And first of all, I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. So I did what any sane parent would do. I sent them to their room so I could regroup and think about what my next step was going to be. So at that point in time, I knew my life, our lives as parents, had changed pretty much forever from that point. One, we realized, Tammy, that we had to up our game as parents. And two, we were so appreciative of the education that our children are getting, that they were actually utilizing what they were taught in the classroom. So teachers, thank you so much for that. But in all sincerity tonight, graduates, I just want to ask you a simple question. Why? Why? Why do you believe what you believe? Why do you say the things you say? Why do you do the things that you do? Why? You know, I think that if I would ask each and every one of us in this room that same question, I would probably get just as many answers in reply as to why you do the things you do. And I think a common answer that I would receive from people in the average public would be, why do you do what you do? I don't know, just because. This past year, I read an article from the deputy commander or the deputy director for the honors program at West Point. And in this article, the colonel wrote about his experience of mentoring 5 cadets who had violated the honor code. And the honor code at West Point was, we will not lie, steal, or cheat, nor tolerate among us anyone who does. And he proposed that same question to these cadets. Why'd you do what you did? And then the answer that came back, the unanimous answer that came back was, I don't know. I wasn't thinking. You know, I wasn't thinking. You know, for me personally, I think that my parents can probably attest to this, that I've been asked that question many times when I was a youngster. What were you thinking? From my teachers, my coaches too. You know, and at that point in time, I would have probably given the same answer. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking. But these were young adults that, before they found themselves in their individual predicaments, they saw themselves as being morally and ethically sound. Excellent students. to be able just to get into West Point, you have to be the best of the best. These people, these students, these young adults were just like a lot of you this evening, getting ready to graduate. But somewhere along the way, from a character and a belief standpoint, there was a disconnect. And they walked right off the cliff because they didn't think before they acted. And most importantly, I don't think they had answered their why. You know, granted, we all sin and we all fall short of the glory of God. But in our instances, in our environment, we have to be aware enough of our surroundings that we don't put ourselves into harm's way. As the saying goes, to morally reason, you have to think. And to think, you have to be self-aware. So as you're about to graduate tonight from Corndale, I do want to challenge you. I want to challenge you with the aspect of pondering what you believe, what you hold to be true, about who you are and what you were created to be and to do. In essence, I want to challenge you to ask yourself the question, have you defined your core? What I mean by this is, have you defined your filter, the lens in which you view the world? It's the mechanism in which you process all your experiences and all your thoughts. The reason I call it a core is because it describes who we are from our inner man and in our inner spirit. From an athletic perspective, your core are the muscles in your midsection. These are the muscles that fire first when you do anything, whether it's running, jumping, lifting, whatever. Your core are the first muscle groups to fire. So a strong core signifies a strong, stable athlete, body. A weak core often leads to injury and to harm. It's the same thing regarding your beliefs as to who you are as a person and how you view the world around you. Let me illustrate it this way. Imagine there's a tightrope walker. And as that tightrope walker is beginning to learn his craft, when he first starts to learn, there may be an outside stimulus, a wind blowing or a distraction, which may cause that person to fall off that tightrope. But if not, it's going to cause them to have extreme oscillations. But as they continue to practice their trade, as they continue to practice that tightrope, the stronger their core gets, the more efficient their nervous system gets, that those little oscillations become to the point where they become minimal and you become more efficient. And I think I have just invented a new dance called the tightrope. But anyway, it's the same thing regarding your core beliefs as to who you are. Your experience from your parents, the things that they have taught you, and from your experience here at CDA to view the world from a historical Christian worldview, you have solidified as to why you do what you do. But I want to challenge you. You will be challenged when you graduate and when you leave here, when you get outside the tutelage of your parents as well as your instructors here at CDA. You're going to go to places where you're going to be surrounded by people who perhaps don't believe what you believe. You may have a professor that may challenge your whole thought process by saying that there is no God. Or you may have friends or associates that say, hey, I got the answers to this test that we're going to take tomorrow. You can just copy off of me. Let's go out and have a good time. So hopefully, prayerfully, your core has been defined. Because basically, again, your core is basically your foundation. When all the complexities and distractions in life are stripped away, what do you hold to be true? What are those things that you hold sacred? You may think that these are perhaps heavy questions to answer, but I want to challenge you. From my experience, the sooner that you can answer these questions, the more joy and the less pain that you're going to have in your life. And I really put it this way. I want to encourage you to look at your life as if you're writing a book. And each and every day of your life, you're adding a sentence. You're adding a paragraph, a chapter, a section. When ultimately, when it's all said and done, can you look back, or will you be able to look back on your life and say that I made a difference, I made an impact, I was a part of something greater than myself? One book that I would encourage you all to read, and that's Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. If you haven't read it already, again, I encourage you to read that. For those of you who don't know about Frankl, Frankl was a Jewish Austrian psychiatrist who survived years in Hitler's concentration camps. The camps that he survived were Auschwitz and Turkheim, which was an offshoot of Dachau. And during his time in the concentration camp, he made several, well, first of all, he had everything taken from him, all his material possessions, all his family, his wife, his mother and father. They all died in the concentration camps. Everything that, basically, he was stripped to the bare essence of his humanity. But being a psychiatrist, he made several observations while in the camp as to why some people lived and others died. He often viewed that those that lived, or those that died, many times lived in better conditions. They had better shelter, better food, better clothes, less harsh working conditions. And those that lived actually lived under lived under more duress. But what he determined was that those that died had lost their why. It goes along with what 19th century philosopher, I just lost my place. It goes with 19th century philosopher Nietzsche says that he who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. So that's what I want you to think about today. It's about your why. Why do you do what you do? And I want to challenge you, if you're thinking about doing it for the money, for the fame, for the advanced degree, do you do it for family? Do you do it for friends? I want to encourage you not to fall into the trap of chasing that proverbial moving bogey of worldly fame and riches. If your main goal or prize or vision is to pursue things of material gain, you're never going to get there. Blaise Pascal put it eloquently when he said that there is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God, the Creator, made known through Jesus. I think a more contemporary example, an illustration, there's a story told about a very successful recent Harvard graduate who used his signing bonus money to purchase a brand new Lexus. Well, he parked that Lexus right in front of his office building where he was just going to start work because he wanted to show it off to all his colleagues. Well, just as he was getting ready to open up the door, a huge truck came careening by and ripped off the door. A cop in a police car was right behind him, sped up to it, lights flashing, jumped out to assess the damage of what was going on. Well, the young man got out and he started to go on a rant and a rave. I can't believe what just happened. I just bought this car yesterday, and I'm going to have to take it to the body shop, and nothing is going to happen. It's never going to be the same as it once was. Well, the policeman looked at him and says, I can't believe how materialistic you kids are today. You value possessions so much that you forget some of the most important things in life. Well, the young man looked at him and said, well, what are you talking about? The policeman said, well, you don't even notice that as that truck careened by, it severed off your left arm. Oh my gosh, said the kid, my Rolex. Make a note, that joke actually worked. I was going to question whether I did or not. But again, the reason that I share that joke with you tonight is, again, it's not ever about the temporal things. I believe that each subsequent generation is challenged more so from a moral perspective than the previous generation. Nietzsche, who I quoted earlier, even admitted that the modern world had moved off its foundations in the Christian traditions of moral goodness, and that cataclysmic changes were to come because of that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was coming from an atheistic philosopher that claimed that God is dead. Contemporary theologian and scholar Dallas Willard, in his book, The Divine Conspiracy, discussed the moral decline in our culture today. He gave a historical perspective on how a few philosophers, some of them who you've studied, such as Kant, how they had tried to develop a version of Christianity that didn't even require Jesus to have existed. Willard discussed how these individuals try to develop the argument that moral understanding can allegedly be established by careful human thought and experience, apart from any historical tradition. So I challenge you, where has that gotten us today? In our culture, we are still seeing the aspects of trying to define what truth is. You hear the moral relativists argue that, I have my truth, you have your truth, and they're both equally valid. Except when your truth prevents me from doing what I want to do with my own selfish desires, then my truth trumps yours. Look at all the former societal norms that are being challenged in our culture today, such as what is the definition of marriage? When does life actually begin? Why do you need a mother and a family, a mother and a father and a family? And the list goes on and on and on. St. Paul warned us about this in his second letter to Timothy in chapter 4, verses 3 and 4, when he said, quote, that for the time will come when men will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. I think it's proven obvious that trying to devise a morality from strictly within our own human resources have proven to be an utter failure. Truth is truth, and man will never be able to change that no matter how hard he tries to flaunt his relevancy before God. God continues to reign on his throne yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And as you take your next step in life's journey, graduates, I want to encourage you as you go out into the world to realize that you will be tested and you will be challenged. In Ephesians 6, where Paul talks about putting on the armor of God, the one piece of equipment that I think proves essential for this topic is the helmet of salvation. That is the one thing that will protect your mind from the world's truth distortions and wicked schemes of the evil one when your why will be challenged. You know, I would never have dreamt of running out on the Texas Stadium, out on the field, and play without my helmet. I wouldn't have lasted long. The same is true about putting on God's helmet of salvation every day. You won't last long if you don't put his truth surrounding you to protect you. I can't believe it. 28 years ago, I was exactly where you were and where you are right now. I was ready to take on the world and be a success in that world. You know, and I was able to achieve it as far as the eyes of the world determine that. I was an all-state football player. I was a state champion wrestler in high school. I was National Honor Society. I was a two-time academic All-American. I was a unanimous All-American Outland Trophy winner in college. I was a A-10 pilot with 45 missions into northern Iraq. I was a three-time Super Bowl champion with a 9-year career with the Dallas Cowboys. And I share this with you not to pat myself on the back and say, hey, look at me. But I want to share with you that all those deeds and accolades are meaningless without a belief in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. My ultimate legacy that I pass on to my children, to Brenna and to Chase, it's not those material things. It's the most important things that I do pass on to them are teaching them right from wrong. It's treating others with respect and dignity. It's living a life with courage and passion. It's loving them and their mother Tammy with my whole being. And it's being a servant. Those accolades I mentioned above, in a few years, they're going to be long forgotten. But what will last for me, for my legacy, is what type of husband, what type of father, and what type of friend was I. So saying that, I want to share with you in closing here just 5 tenet proverbs that Tammy and I have tried to instill in our kids, into Chase and Brenna. And after playing football for 19 years, where it was my job basically to run into things, I like to keep things pretty simple. That's pretty much the so that I can remember them. And again, I've been hit in the head a few too many times, so I'm lucky I just showed up here tonight, actually. But on a side note, I want to challenge you to see how well of a job Tammy and I have done to talk to Chase and Brenna and ask them, quiz them, whether they know what the 5 tenets are. I told you, Brenna, I'm going to put some pressure on you tonight. But no pressure, kiddos. The first tenet is this: the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It all starts and stops with your relationship with God. The second tenet is he who walks with wise men will be wise. Choose your mentors. Choose your friends very carefully because it's the company that you surround yourself with how you will be known. The third tenet, do your best in all things. That's obvious. The fourth tenet, life is a series of choices. Choose wisely. Many times you don't get second chances. And the fifth and final tenet is this: God disciplines or disciples those whom he loves. For all of us to remember, not all bad things are bad, and not all good things are good. God uses many times challenges and pain in our life to get us to grow, to get us to where we need to be as his sons and daughters. So I want to challenge you again to remember these tenets. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. He who walks with wise men will be wise. Do your best in all things. Life is a series of choices. Choose wisely. And God disciplines or disciples those whom he loves. So in closing, I challenge you, define your why. Because once you do, you will find purpose and meaning in your life. And Mrs. Dwyer, Mr. Rector, when you first asked me if I would speak at the commencement this evening, I actually had an ulterior motive. It's not often that a father gets the opportunity to acknowledge and to affirm his son in a public manner. And I just want to take this opportunity, if you will indulge me, to acknowledge my son Chase. I see you smiling, buddy. I'm trying not to cry. So I'm going to look this way. No. I'm proud of the man that you have become, and I'm proud of the accomplishments that you have achieved in your life. This is the first step on a long journey, buddy. Godspeed and God bless. And to the rest of you graduates, I wish you all the same. God's blessing upon you all, and much success. Thank you very much. Take care.
Fellow classmates, friends, families, and CDA staff and faculty, welcome today to the commencement ceremony of 2012. It is a great honor to represent the graduating class and salute you on their behalf. Those I represent have been more than just classmates. For over 1, 2, 4, 6 years, we have, to some extent, become a distinct nuclear family of our own. Before I begin my salutation, then, I would like to stress the importance of these bittersweet hours to us, to our family. We are a window stained with the most amazing colors, arranged in intricate patterns, and crafted with loving hands. Imagine ye yourself in an old cathedral with the smell of time, heavy under the lofty ceilings, heavy with the grace of God and of the silence of Norse and Celtic myths. Our window is at that far end, large, miraculous, gorgeous, crafted by forces incomprehensible to the viewer. Its shards. Today, that window breaks, and its shards will be thrown about by winds and carried away by salt-crested waves. And today, the only promise we make is that someday, somewhere, in some infinity, that window will be made yet again. But it is not yet the hour of breaking. Before that falls upon us, let us gaze at it to remember and to commemorate. Behind each detail is a masterful artist, and each detail in itself is a reflection of something divine. Let us begin with the masters. We shall always remember Mr. Ia, our 6th grade teacher and the coach of the tennis teams, Mrs. Hicks, who prepared us for the study of history and English, and Mrs. Gaskamp, who laid down for us the basics of Latin and of mathematics. We shall always remember Mrs. Ligon, her lessons in biology, science, and life, and her pancakes, gardening, and sewing. Mrs. Colvin, our leader in drama, speech, debate, and the arts of speaking and acting. Mrs. Nybert, Mrs. McDaniel, and Mrs. Walker Gladney, the artists and painters who taught us to see in strokes of brush. Mrs. Bowen, Miss Hillier, Miss Gladney, and Mr. Davies, musicians and singers who taught us to glorify our Lord with sound and with harmony. And our dear coaches and athletic leaders, Coach Brake, Coach Ashby, Mr. Lemley, Troop Moore, Coach Fincher, Coach Chen, Coach Williams, Coach Simon, Coach Wright, and Coach McCloyan. And yes, CDA does have a great athletic department, who laid out the plans for us to follow to glorify God with challenge after challenge, failure after failure, and sweet success after sweet success. We will always remember those that have guided us through high school testing and the college application process, Mrs. Dwyer, Ms. Schaefer, and Mrs. Wakefield. We will always remember those teachers that have helped us both visibly and invisibly by their glorious daily work. Dear Miss Perry, divinely loyal and eternally helpful Mr. Uye, watchful and precise Mrs. Brake, our weekly journalist, writer, and helper, Miss Galusha, and the administration of CDA, whom we do not always see, but whose presence we certainly feel. And we will always remember those teachers to whom we owe our expanses of knowledge, of reason, and of faith, Mr. Schaefer, Miss Schober, Miss Lester, and Miss Seekamp, Masters of Science, Conceptualization, and Mathematics. Our dearest Dr. Heichmidt, Master of History, English, and Understanding, and the charming Mr. Jordan, Master of Faith, Apologetics, History, and Greek. The next two I announce are somewhat personal, but I believe when I speak from my soul, I speak for those sitting behind me as well. They have been two teachers that have truly made me who I am, One of them taught me to always be confident and be able to improvise on stage. The other gave me my art, told me I could be an artist, and gave me my faith. The first, the faithful and enduring Mrs. Lowe, master of rhetoric, logic, and Latin, and finally, the wise and serene Mrs. Powell, master of English and theology. And finally, we will always remember our chief mathematician, beloved comedian, and greatest headmaster, Mr. William K. Rector. To all these and the dozens more, both teachers and parents, both those who we knew as friends and those who we thought were enemies, to this school, we give our most heartfelt thanks, and we promise to remember. There is a Russian song, Time, that reflects on how our creations forever remember the touch of their hands. Our class, our stained glass window, will likewise never forget the touch of the masters. And now for the details. The light our stained glass catches is tasted, strummed like the strings of a divine instrument, and kept. And that is not only because we are one, but also because we are diverse. You see here a group with different skills and abilities, different heritages, different tastes. All of them excel at multiple talents that God has made their best. Amidst us, we have speakers and debaters with many awards and decorations. Amidst us, we have actors who this year gave themselves and their talents to the magnificent performance of Guys and Dolls. We have musicians and singers who have performed at district, state, and beyond. Amidst us, we have those that excel at the fields, the track, and at sport. Our baseball team seniors are leaders in track and cross country. Our tennis team leaders, our volleyball players, our basketball players, and our football players. Amidst us, we have writers and poets, the sculptors of language, some of whom even have their own books already published. Amidst us, we have artists, the crafters of visual imagination. I'd like to know the CDA placed first at state art this year. And of the placing our works, 77% were crafted by seniors. Amidst us, we have future historians, mathematicians, politicians, engineers, scientists, architects, and artists. We are certainly diverse. But above this diversity is a union that is beyond any other in greatness and in weight. The most honorable speaker, Mr. Chad Hennings, asked the question of why, and I believe I can answer that question. And when I'm answering it, I am certain that I'm representing those that sit behind me. Why do we do what we do? Why will we keep doing what we do? The reason is simple. We have been raised in knowledge, we have been raised in the presence of friends, and we have been raised in the presence of God. And we will grow. Coram doctrinae, coram amicis, and coram Deo. We are not just friends, just intellectuals, just Christians, nor are we one above the other. We are a continuum of all three, mixed, entwined, and forged to create a unique and extraordinary stained glass. Those are the masters, and those are the details. Now, as we watch the window shatter, stop time for a second and look about you. For some of you, this moment has no weight or importance. And now to follow the speaker, I will turn my back at you. Forgive me. But you, fellow classmates, let the weight of these hours feel upon your shoulders. And stop time and feel every single moment. And feel God's hand in what is occurring now. Because these moments happen only once. Our days at Coram Deo Academy, to whom we have given much, and to whose faculty and families we owe even more, those days are over. Let us begin to craft our memories now. And let us believe, unwaveringly, that someday, in some infinity, our window will be crafted yet again, in greater knowledge, in deeper friendship, and in strongest faith. Thank you.
Good evening. I have a lot to be grateful for, like memories of Dr. Heitschmidt telling us about Pearl Harbor, World War I, and the Civil War, in her baby voice. Or Mr. Schaefer politely smiling and nodding as Brock Longcrier's long-winded story about this one time seemed to last more than just a second. Or learning how to massage a cat via a YouTube video in Miss Lester's class. Although, I suppose I should be grateful for Andrew O'Brien for that one. Or Mr. Jordan, getting a particular student back by putting a list on the first test that said Olivia Durstling on one side and everyone I have ever met or will meet or wish to meet on the other, and asking the students to interpret. But to me, being grateful is not just a passive state, which you would call past blessings. Rather, it's an active one that requires certain things of us. To truly be grateful is really to be humble, to be responsible, and to be inspired. I learned that gratefulness is humbleness through Miss Lowe's rhetoric class. In that class, I learned a lot of things, like how to be a better speaker, how to write more effectively, and how to appropriately freak out over a rhetoric portfolio. But one of the most impactful things for me were the social justice projects we did last year. After hearing about the many societal ills, I had an overwhelming feeling of how blessed I was. Did you know that over half of the world lives on less than $2.50 a day, while 80% lives on less than $10 a day? You see, you and I have so much to be grateful for, and we have been blessed in ways that we cannot comprehend. But personally, I believe that we should not be proud of anything that we've done or be entitled in any way. Rather, we should be humble. I did nothing to be born in a loving Christian home, nothing that would force my parents to send me to such an amazing school, and nothing to belong to a nation that has so much. Most of all, none of us did anything to freely receive the love of God that He so freely bestows on every one of us. So, being grateful for all the blessings is to have the humility to realize that we did nothing to deserve it. From Ms. Powell's class, I learned that to be grateful is to have responsibility. I learned this through the book Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. In it, it contains the story of a hardened criminal who was given grace by a bishop from whom he had stolen. With this gift of grace, Jean Valjean reformed his life and turned it around to use it for the greater good. To me, this is the perfect example of what we as Christians are called to do, and that is to use our gifts responsibly. In Genesis 1, God tells us the story of His gift of creation, but He also tells us that we, as humans, are the ones responsible for it. And this story of God calling His people to be good stewards is one that we hear time and again throughout the Bible, and it is one that is especially applicable to today because it shows us that to be grateful, we must be responsible for taking the gift of our education past and our education in the future into our own hands and using it for good. Responsible for making the gift of life something that reflects back on God. And responsible for sharing the blessings as they have been shared with us. Being grateful is about showing that we care enough about what we've been given to take full responsibility for putting it to good use. Finally, Mr. Rector taught me that from gratefulness comes inspiration. I learned this when he told us the story of how he came to Cormdale. If you hadn't heard, it's basically this. He left a high-paying job at a large corporation to come teach at some private school in North Texas. Now, he didn't do this because he's mildly insane, although that is a point of debate. But he did this because he felt that this was God's calling, to use his gift of teaching in a way that he couldn't in his previous job. This is exactly what we as Christians are called to do. 1 John 4:19 says we love because he first loved us. Genesis 1 tells us that we are made in the image of God. And 1 Corinthians 10 tells us that we are to do all things for the glory of God. You see, we are blessed so that we may be a blessing. And to truly be grateful is to be inspired. We have been given great families, great teachers, and great talents. But those gifts should serve to inspire us to be better. Inspire us to be better friends, better students, better sons and daughters, but most of all, better image bearers for the Lord Jesus Christ. Our gratitude toward the love and blessings that we have received should be measured by how much it inspires us to go out and give of ourselves in service to one another. I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful for teachers like Mrs. Colvin, who probably spent more time with her debaters on the weekend than her own family. I'm grateful for a family that has supported me in every aspirations, in every way possible. I'm grateful to my classmates for giving me 3 years of memories that I will cherish for a lifetime. But most of all, I'm grateful for our loving God, who died so that we may live, and from whom all good things comes. And so, fellow classmates, as this journey ends while a new one is just beginning, I encourage you, be grateful. And remember, we start being grateful by remembering to be humble enough to realize how undeserving we are, responsible enough to be the good stewards we are called to be, and inspired enough to give back as we have been given. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi there, my name is Wyatt Harms, and like Mr. Rector said, I was honored to be this year's senior class president. It is also my honor to present today's senior gift. Now, like previous senior classes, we decided to give back to our school because they've given us so much, and we decided to do this in the form of a senior gift. Except we wanted our gift to be something that was unique, yet practical at the same time. And so after tossing around a few ideas, we finally decided on lampposts. And now you may be thinking to yourselves, these seem a little mundane, but actually this is the perfect gift for our senior class. Now these lampposts will serve a practical purpose. If you've ever been to Coram Deo after the lights went out, you know that it's a very, very dark campus. And the reason for this is because we have no lighting. And what our senior class is going to do is donate 3 lampposts, as shown above, to the school that they will be able to use to light up the campus after dark. But really what this gift will serve is a dual purpose, and a dual purpose to remind both students and faculty. It's going to remind the class of 2012 of all the hard work we put into Coram Deo and what we have finally achieved through our graduation. It's going to remind the faculty of all the great memories we've had with them. And hopefully it's going to remind the future senior classes to be thankful for what they have and to be grateful for a school that has worked so hard for them. And so we hope that the campus and the faculty enjoy the class of 2012 senior gift. Thank you.
What's up, everyone? My name is Corey Farver. There are many people the class of 2012 would really like to thank. The teachers, for the time that they invested in us to help us get to where we are today. The coaches, who helped us not only excel in athletics, but also taught us important life lessons that I personally know I will never forget. However, there's one specific person we would like to recognize. This person has truly influenced every single member in our whole class. If you walk up to anyone in our class, they would be happy and tell you exciting stories of how this person has really influenced us. For some of us, it was through study hall, how we really got to know her. Study hall might seem like a simple class to teach, but it's really not. Not only do you need to make sure that every single student is doing their homework, but they'll come up to you and ask you all these questions. She told me once that the students will come up and ask her questions, and sometimes she doesn't know how to answer them. So she'll actually go to like a senior or a junior and ask them to explain the question to the student. And while that's happening, she would also try to learn how to answer the question so that if that question got ever brought up to her again, she would be able to properly answer it. For some of us, this teacher taught us drama. Anyone who went to Coram Deo's plays know that we do an amazing job when it comes to drama, am I right? For some others, yes, yeah, she knows who it is. For others, she taught us speech and debate. If it wasn't for this woman, I personally would not be up here speaking right now. And if I was, you would be counting how many times I said this whole time. This woman has done so much for this school, and I have so much respect for her. We will all miss her so much next year. I know I'm probably going to be able to see her most because I will be rooming with her son next year. Everybody, would you please make some noise for Mrs. Jerry Colvin? Thank you.
And to present a few individual scholarships, I'd like to invite Mr. David Pierce, our guest, to join me on stage. Stanislav, I don't know if you know this, but he has something to present to you. Would you come down here, please? Yes, sir, you. Mr. Pierce is a 1995 graduate of Syracuse University. Thank you, and welcome to Florida.
Thank you.
He is a Master of Architecture and was on a university fellowship program in Florence, Italy. He is currently the Vice President of Inland American Communities, a national real estate development firm. He leads design and development of urban infill and university housing all across the country. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Pierce has something to present to Stanislav. Mr. Pierce, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here on behalf of Syracuse University tonight. Syracuse is one of the oldest architecture programs in the country, consistently ranked in the top 10 of all architecture schools in the country annually. Extremely competitive admissions process with approximately 10% or less of applicants getting in every year. I was notified this week of a very special admission to Syracuse, Stanislav Nedzelski, from your school here, and not only was he admitted in this extremely rigorous program, he was given a full ride 5-year scholarship worth approximately $190,000. So on behalf of Syracuse, we'd like to present this and thank you for sending us such a great graduate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. You are welcome to give away $190,000 anytime you like at Coram Deo Academy. We'll make room for you at the podium. Next, we have a special award and scholarship that I would like to ask Mr. Andrew O'Brien to come forward to receive. Presenting it is also a special guest of ours, Mr. Jack O'Brien, a graduate from Texas Christian University. Jack, would you mind presenting something to your little brother? Welcome.
Good evening. I'm a member of the Texas Christian University class of 2012. I just graduated a few days ago myself, and I was a Coram Deo Academy graduate back in 2008. Texas Christian University asked me, as a recent alumnus, to present a certain Coram Deo graduate with the Chancellor Scholarship. Now, this Chancellor Scholarship is a full tuition award given to a few dozen TCU students each year. These students are the best of the best, and it has only become more competitive to receive the scholarship over the past few years. Let me give you some statistics about this award. For the second year in a row, TCU received about 19,000 applications for about a little under 2,000 spots in their entering class. They interviewed a select few of these applicants and offered 47 Chancellor Scholarships. These Chancellor Scholars have an average GPA of 3.988, an average ACT score of 33, and an average SAT score of 2190. Now, Andrew, I could not be more honored and proud to be able to present you with this award. TCU and the rest of us have seen how you've continually challenged yourself while at Coram Deo over these past 10 years, starting with participation in basketball, football, track, cross country, band, drama, art, TAPS academic competition, tutoring, and the house system. I have watched you become a leader in several of these areas: athletics, academics, and in the fine arts. You truly left Coram Deo a better place than you found it 10 years ago. I am confident you will have great success as you move on to TCU. The humility, poise, and joy that you carry yourself with is an inspiration to me, and I love you. It is my great pleasure to present the Chancellor Scholarship to you, my brother, Andrew James O'Brien. There you go.
There's a Kodak moment. Finally, I'd like to welcome Major David Fredrickson from the United States Air Force. Mr. Preston Green, would you come to the podium, please? Major Fredrickson has something to present to you. Major Fredrickson, welcome back to Coram Deo Academy. Thank you. You're becoming a regular. We'll make a chair for you next year.
Work. Thank you, Mr. Rector, Mr. Hennings, graduates, family, friends, faculty, and staff. It is a tremendous honor for me to be here, especially since I've got the personal chance to watch Preston in action. We've interacted for a number of years through Civil Air Patrol, and to watch this young man grow up to what he's become, it gives me tremendous hope for the future of our nation. This year, approximately 15,000 students from across the nation competed for scholarships through the Air Force ROTC program. With the downsizing of the Pentagon's budget this year, it's unbelievably competitive this year for any kind of scholarship award. The end result of all scholarships through the Air Force ROTC program is an appointment as an officer into the United States Air Force as a future leader for our nation. This scholarship that I'm about to give covers all 4 years of tuition, includes textbooks of an allowance of $900 a year, as well as $10,000 towards a housing allowance and a monthly stipend. All told, its value well exceeds $180,000. On behalf of Brigadier General Roger Watkins, the commander of the United States Air Force ROTC, I would like to ask you all to please join me in a hearty congratulations in me offering this scholarship to Preston Alton Green.
Marie Sophie is recognized tonight along with her classmates for her achievements. She was a very active member of this same class, and she was on the varsity tennis team while successfully meeting the challenge of a rigorous schedule as a CDA senior. All of which was made a little bit more difficult because, you see, for Marie, English is her second language. She's from Germany, and she will be going back to Germany later this month to complete 2 additional years of high school. But we are proud to have had Marie Sophie as CDA's first ever foreign exchange student. She has made many friends, and we will consider her one of our alumni and hope to stay in touch with her always. Her family, many of them join us from Mannheim, and the seniors made this for you, Marie. It's a goodbye video. I haven't seen what's on it, so I can't, but I'll bet it's kind of touching. But thank you so much for being an honorary member of this class and being with us. Now it's time for a tradition that goes back 2,000 years as I give the charge to the graduates. Beloved children of the Most High God, our relationship changes tonight. Now, you'll always be beloved, but as you walk across this stage, you will no longer be children in my eyes. You will leave Coram Deo and become beloved servants of the Most High God, and that's good work when you can get it. While I was proud to be your teacher and headmaster, that relationship passes tonight too. I and all of your teachers now look forward to being your friends and brothers and sisters in Christ forever. You know you have a special place in my heart, as I've known many of you now for the last 5 years. I love you, and God bless you. And now, as Paul said to Timothy, fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of eternal life to which you were called, when you made your good confessions in the presence of many witnesses, in the sight of God, who gives life to everything, and of Christ Jesus, who will testify before Pontius Pilate and made his good confession, I charge you to keep this command without spot or blame until the appearing of our Lord Jesus Christ. And now, to help me confer the diplomas, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mrs. Jerry Colvin and Mr. Jonathan Jordan. They will assist me as we call the students. Again, the students, I'll remind you as I call your name, please pause to receive your diploma and allow people to take a photograph of you. We begin now with the graduates of the class of 2012. Sarah Nicole Alsmiller. Sarah graduates magna cum laude. She will be attending the Georgia Institute of Technology, a part of Georgia Tech University, with a double major in mechanical engineering and computer science. She is most proud of the high school aerospace scholarship internship she did at NASA last summer and taking first place at the state meet in computer-generated art. Congratulations, Sarah, and God bless you. Thank you. Nathan Charles Bannert. Nathan graduates cum laude. He'll be attending the Honors College at Texas State University, majoring in business with an emphasis in accounting. He's proud of his achievement of being an Eagle Scout and making the all-district baseball team. Congratulations, Nathan. God bless you. Peter John Chupp. Peter has received a scholarship to Taylor University, where he will major in computer science and new media. He is proud of making an A in Dr. Heitschmidt's class. That's true. Making the honor roll and going on a mission trip to India that changed his life 2 years ago. Congratulations, Peter, and may God bless you. Lydia Joy Clinkscales. Lydia graduates summa cum laude with a scholarship to the Honors College at Texas Tech University, where she will major in English and public relations. She is proud of earning a black belt in Taekwondo and having a poem published in a book put out by the World Poetry Movement. I always knew there was a World Poetry Movement. Congratulations, Lydia, and God bless you. Carson Jeffrey Colvin. Carson will graduate magna cum laude and attend Oklahoma State University with a major in broadcasting. He is proud of his achievement of making cum laude or better all 4 years and being second team all-district in baseball. Congratulations, Carson, and may God bless you. There you go. And that's mine or yours? Okay. He's so much cooler at that than I am. I just wish that looked as good as it did for him. Laura Catherine Diott. Laura graduates summa cum laude with a scholarship to the Honors College at LeTourneau University, where she will major in mechanical engineering. She is proud of graduating summa cum laude and her future position as Supreme World Dictator. I hope my death will be quick and painless. Thank you. God bless you. Olivia Shea Dursling. Olivia graduates cum laude and will attend Maranatha Baptist Bible College in Wisconsin, where she will major in psychology and play therapy. She is proud of establishing a piano studio with more than 20 students in the last 3 years and in passing physics. Congratulations, Olivia, and God bless you. Hannah Elizabeth Drury. Hannah is graduating magna cum laude and will attend the University of Texas at Dallas and major in arts and technology. She's proud of graduating magna cum laude and the fact that she's a candidate for black belt in karate in October of 2012, so we won't mess with you. Congratulations, Hannah, and may God bless you. Corbin Christopher Farver. Corey, as we know him, will graduate cum laude and attend Oklahoma State University, majoring in pre-law. He is proud of his accomplishment as being an all-state defensive end in football and the captain of the football and basketball teams. Congratulations, Corey. God bless you. Casey Sierra Galloway. Casey graduates summa cum laude with a scholarship to the Honors College at John Brown University, where she will major in journalism. She is proud of the fact that some of her work was published in a photography and writing magazine, that her role as Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest, and the fact that she made it all the way to the state poetry competition in 2011. Congratulations and God bless you, Casey. I don't know what to do with all these. Greer Elizabeth Garland. Greer graduates cum laude with a scholarship to Oklahoma Baptist University, and she will major in digital media arts. She is proud of earning her magna cum laude in her previous years and her role as Gwendolyn in The Importance of Being Earnest. God bless you and congratulations. Preston Alton Green. Preston graduates summa cum laude, and as you know, he received the ROTC scholarship. He will use that at Texas Christian University to major in physics. He is proud of being named first team all-district in baseball and named offensive player of the year. He doesn't look that offensive to me. And proud also of graduating summa cum laude. Congratulations, Preston, and may God bless you. It's been fun. Christine Elizabeth Gurley. Christine graduates summa cum laude with a scholarship to Trinity University, where she will study conservation biology. She is proud of earning her summa cum laude all 4 years and the numerous piano contests and performances that she racked up major accomplishments. Congratulations and God bless you, Christine. Carter Michael Harms. Carter graduates summa cum laude and will attend Wheaton College in Illinois, where he will major in political science and business economics. He is proud of being the state champion in current events and the president of the House of Right. Congratulations, Carter, and may God bless you. Wyatt Redmond Harms. Wyatt will also graduate summa cum laude and will also attend Wheaton College in Illinois and will also major in political science and business. But he's proud of being the two-time state champion in persuasive speaking. That's the way to do that. And being the senior class president of Coram Deo Academy. Congratulations and God bless you, Wyatt. Reed Clarkson Hayes. Reed graduates magna cum laude and will attend the Honors College at Collin County Community College and then transfer to some other institution. His major, like mine was, undecided. He's most proud of earning his magna cum laude and being the photographer for House of Right all 4 years. Congratulations, Reed, and may God bless you. Ariel Brooke Heinsius. Ariel graduates summa cum laude with a scholarship to the Honors College at Regent University in Virginia, where she will major in political science. She was also a two-time state champion in oratory and served as a congressional intern for Dr. Michael Burgess. Congratulations, and God bless you, Ariel. Samuel James Hellman. Sam graduates summa cum laude and will attend Louisiana Tech University and study mechanical engineering. Sam's proud of his also attending the NASA High School Aerospace Scholarship Internship last summer for being the chaplain of the House of Homer, and at his work, he was promoted to machinist where he works, which he's very proud of. Congratulations, Sam, and God bless you. You're getting tall. Tirza Claren Henderson. Tirza graduates summa cum laude and will receive a scholarship to the University of North Texas, where she will study radio, television, and film. She is proud of the 2011 Distinguished Student Award that she received from Coram Deo Academy and being a member of the one-act play that competed in the all-star cast. Congratulations, and God bless you, Tirza. Thank you. It's been fun. Chase Hoover Hennings. Chase graduates cum laude and will attend North Central Texas College and then transfer to Southern Methodist University to major in business. He is proud of graduating cum laude and going into the second year of the internship at Renda Contracting. Congratulations, Chase, and may God bless you. Christopher Andrew Holland. Chris graduates cum laude with a scholarship to Baylor University, where he will major in business. He is proud of being named Athlete of the Year just a few days ago. And he also won a playoff game in his freshman year of baseball and was named to the first team all-district in baseball as a center fielder. Congratulations, Chris, and God bless you. Thank you. Sarah Elizabeth Johnstone. Sarah received a scholarship to Baylor University, where she will study mechanical engineering. She is proud of earning magna cum laude in her senior year and her ministry and heart for young children. Congratulations, and God bless you, Sarah. Alexandra Brooklyn Jones. Brooklyn will attend the University of Iowa this fall and then transfer to Salzburg University in Austria. She will study creative writing, theater, and foreign language. Brooklyn is proud of the fact that she has written 5 books and has self-published 4 of those books and has done extensive international travel. Congratulations, Brooklyn, and may God bless you. Matthew Brock Longcrier. Brock will attend Brookhaven College and eventually transfer to Oklahoma State University, where he will major in wildlife management. While in China on a mission trip, he led 4 people to Christ, and I'm proud of that too, young man. Brock also does the best impersonation of Coach Ashby. We'll have to hear that later. God bless you, and thank you. The shortstop, Luke Wallace McCrumman. Luke will attend Texas State University and has also majored in my favorite major, undecided. He's proud of being named to the All-State 2012 baseball team and being named All-District in 3 of the 4 years. He was also named this last year Defensive Player of the Year in baseball. We're going to miss you in the field, Luke, but congratulations and God bless you. Thank you. Ellen Joyce Middleton. Ellen graduates cum laude and will attend Texas State University, majoring in interior design. She is proud of being the senior class events coordinator and being named to the first team all-district volleyball, being also named for volleyball academic all-state, and being named the offensive player of the year. Again, you're not that offensive. But thank you very much. Congratulations and God bless you, Ellen. Gabrielle Reese Miller. Gabrielle will attend Texas State University and will study interdisciplinary studies and education. She is proud of receiving the Above and Beyond Award in track her junior year, earning magna cum laude in her junior year, and also last year being part of a 4x200 relay that made it to the 3rd place in the state track meet. Congratulations, Gabrielle, and God bless you. Eric Thomas Neal. Eric graduates magna cum laude and will attend Texas Christian University, where he will major in film, television, and digital media. He is proud of his being named to the 1st District All-Team Basketball and being president of the House of Wallace. Congratulations, Eric, and God bless you. Stanislav Sergeyevich Nedzelski. Stanislav will graduate summa cum laude. You're aware of the scholarship he will receive to the Honors College at Syracuse University, where he will major in architecture. He is proud, and so are we, of his faith and his art. Congratulations, and God bless you, Stanislav. Andrew James O'Brien. Andrew graduates summa cum laude, receiving a scholarship to the Honors College at Texas Christian University, as you saw, where he will major in business. He is proud of being named in 2011 as a distinguished student at Coram Deo Academy, of his role as Sky Masterton in Guys and Dolls, but he says he's most proud of his excessive humility. That doesn't sound right, young man. I like your sense of humor, though. God bless you, and congratulations, Andrew. I guess a comedian in every class. This is a good one, though. Matthew Thomas Rogers. Matthew graduates cum laude and will attend Texas State University, majoring in computer information systems. He is proud of being named first team all-district in soccer his senior year and also receiving academic all-state honors there. He's proud of his studies in Latin, too, and Koine Greek. Congratulations, Matthew, and God bless you. Israel Joshua Rowland. Israel graduates cum laude and receives a scholarship to the University of Texas at Dallas, where he will study mechanical engineering. He's proud of receiving the Lions Heart Award in soccer and receiving honorable mention for the district defensive lineman in football. And he's also proud, as well he should be, of his scholarship to UTD. Congratulations, and God bless you, Israel. Sarah Delane Smetana. Sarah graduates magna cum laude with a scholarship to the University of North Texas, where she will major in pre-med. She is proud of earning her summa cum laude in her junior year and also attending that NASA High School Aerospace Scholarship Program in the summer. Congratulations, and God bless you, Sarah. Emily Carroll Talley. Emily graduates magna cum laude and will attend the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in geography. She is proud of receiving her pilot's license when she was only 17. She's also proud of making it to the playoffs all 4 years in TAPS basketball. Another fact about Emily that I think we should point out, she is the longest tenured student at Coram Deo Academy. She attended in 2001 the 2nd grade and has been here the longest of any of our graduates. Congratulations and God bless you, Emily. You got anybody left? Oh, yes. Evan Sophia Wu. As we're fond of reminding audiences, they're not booing, they're wooing. Evan graduates magna cum laude with a scholarship to Austin College, where she will major in biochemistry and minor in Spanish. And that minor in Spanish will bring her fluency to 4 languages. She's already fluent in English, Mandarin, and Cantonese. She is proud of being president of the House of Right and also an internship at a heart surgery hospital in China, where she was last summer, and she will go again this summer. Congratulations. God bless you. Thank you very much. I think that's all of them. Thank you, faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the Coram Deo Academy class of 2012 and the graduates.
excited to graduate. I can't wait to start the next 4 years of my life and get out of here.
I feel ecstatic, awesome, wonderful, and amazing.
Oh no, I'm camera shy, I can't do it. It's awesome, I'm finally graduated and it's a new step to a new future and life phase in our life, so I'm excited.
It's the best day, it's the best feeling I've had in a while. That's all I got.